All right, it's August the 26th, 2023, and this is the order that I received with the summons stating that I needed to serve the defendants in my civil lawsuit. After the clerk of the court told me numerous times while standing in the clerk's office after I paid my money, and I informed him I didn't think what he was saying was right, that he needed to give me the summons ASAP, the same day I pay my money, so that I can serve. So on March the 30th, the judge, let me show you who the judge is. This is the judge. Sent this order to me. Here's the envelope. You see where it was stamped April 5th, 2023. Look at here. March 30th. Now, how can the post office, I'll get into that later for evidence, but this is when it was stamped at the Capital District 208. All right. Now, this is the order that the judge sent me months later after I paid the $204 to file my complaint. After I went back and paid the $2 and had a conversation with the clerk of the court saying, I think you're supposed to give me my summons so I can serve him. He informed me that the marshals were going to serve me. We're going to serve these defendants. But then I received this letter, this order. I want y'all to read all of it. This order from the judge telling me I got 60 days to serve these defendants. Okay, that's page 1. This is page 2. I'm showing you corruption at its best, y'all. But what I'm telling you is this. This is what I do. And that if I don't do it in a timely manner, he's going to dismiss my case. This is a cover-up and corruption and conspiracy at its highest level. Now, this judge, after the clerk of the court, and I informed the clerk of the court that under federal rules of procedures, once I pay the money, the clerk is supposed to look over the summons, stamp them, sign them, and turn them back over to me. The clerk said that's not what's going to happen. They're going to get the marshals to serve it. You know, they're the clerk. I'm going to just go by what they're saying. This is why I say you must record everything you do when it comes to government officials, because they mean nothing. And you're going to see in the next video how the clerk of the court knew they made a mistake, and then he tells me I have to take it up with the judge. Just like this $2, when you waived it, you should have took it up with the judge. It is not my duty, it's your duty to say you all made a mistake and go tell the judge you all made a mistake and that you waived the $2. But that's not how this judicial system goes. And this is why Lady Justice in America has become a whore. She's a whore. And they go to the highest bidder of corruption and conspiracy. We filed a complaint with the FBI and the Department of Justice pertaining to this case, and we're going to go all the way with it. And we're going to we've already contacted the American Bar Association, and we're going down on Capitol Hill to talk to some judiciary members. It is time we make Lady Justice blind again and stop her whoring ways. We have to remove these corrupt judges who sit on the bench and take phone calls and sway. Now this judge, instead of the clerk of the court telling the judge, we told him that the marshals were going to serve this, they're not even following the rules that were set down by the legislators. You heard in the last video or last recording that the gentleman said that the marshals were they're gonna hand them to the marshals, and the marshals were gonna serve these defendants. Now I get another order, just like the $2 one, saying that I gotta serve them within 60 days. And that's what happened. We served them, we recorded it. We took the documents down to the clerk's office and they disappeared out of the jacket. So you guys stay tuned, cause more to come. And for you bootlickers, I love y'all comments. Keep it up. One day you'll educate yourselves and you don't have to be a follower anymore. You might come and be a leader one day. But for all you bootlickers, here, let me give y'all something right there. Federal Rule of Civil Proceedings, 4M. Now, if you go down, you go to H. I think it's H or I. It clearly shows and tells you who can be served. The judge in this case says that we didn't serve the people properly. The secretary or what they call them, they got so many names now, but the front desk secretary, receptionist, is an agent of the government, is an agent of the county executive office, and she can receive legal documents under the law. Okay? The dispatcher for a police department can receive legal documents at the front booth or counter of a police station. A manager of a business is an agent. The dispatcher is an agent, and an employee is an agent under the law. And I'm surprised this judge doesn't know it. I'm pretty sure he knows it, but he's trying to bluff. I'm well educated on this case and who I can and can't serve. And believe me, I have talked to many professors and legal scholars who have told me they're agents. So the judge is clearly showing conspiracy and corruption when he makes these statements with his order. We are now in 66 days now. And still we have no order from a judge dismissing this case so we can take it to the next level in Richmond, Virginia, in the appellate court. Why is that? Why hasn't the judge made an order? He said he would dismiss it if I don't reserve him. And I'm not going to reserve and do the job of the clerk of the court because they maliciously took 9 documents out of a civil lawsuit to help the defendants out. And if you go back on my platform, and I'm gonna show you again because I'm putting it in steps, you'll see where I paid somebody to serve these people. And you're gonna see firsthand where I hand these affidavits and these summons over to the clerk of the court of the United States District Courthouse in Greenbelt, Maryland. So, where did they vanish to? Only after I gave them 5 more days before I filed a motion for default judgment that I began to receive response from the defendants. And the funny thing about this judge and clerk of the court of the Greenbelt, whatever you send to me, by law, you're supposed to send to the other party. So they can't say that they didn't know that this was going on, even if they want to say they didn't receive my subpoenas and complaints. You sent them documents and they didn't respond to them. This order right here was supposed to be sent to the defendants. Everything that the clerk of the court sends to one party, they must send to the other party. If not, it's an ex parte and it is illegal. So these people were well aware that a lawsuit was being filed 3/30/23. So now the judge wants to say, and the defendants want to say, they knew nothing about this. They didn't even answer. Even with the rules of procedure state, saying that you're going to represent somebody isn't an answer to a complaint. They answered the default, but they didn't answer the complaint. And this is what these corrupt individuals do. It's very interesting, y'all. Okay? Here's a document from the clerk of the court on 12/13/22. You see this right here? December the 13th, 23. Okay? The clerk's office has received your papers for filing. The assigned case number is... You see this, ladies and gentlemen? And this document was supposed to be sent to the defendants also. Was supposed to be sent also. And here's the second part of it. Here, as you see, let me show you this, y'all. No signature, but a type in. If a document doesn't have a signature in it, it's not legal. And this is the game that they play. Any document, court document, must have a signature on it. This is the clerk of the court, y'all. (3/13/22), y'all, page 2. This was supposed to be sent to the plaintiff and the defendants. So they were well aware that a lawsuit had been filed against them. And the funny thing about it, if the shoe was on the other foot, my case would have been dismissed way before we get to this fictitious, I didn't serve them. But because these are government entities involved in this, they cover each other's asses. Corruption at its highest. And under Title 18, Section 242, under color of law, I'm going to push for criminal charges to be brought against these individuals and they be disbarred. So let's see how far this corruption goes up the line of ladder. The ladder. I know you bootlickers are followers, so stick on your side, I'll stick on mine. We're going to take this all the way. You know, I got one good gentleman who loves to write me and tells me, shows me rule number 4, but he doesn't read all of rule number 4, and he clearly doesn't understand rule number 4. An agent of a corporation or a business is an employee, a secretary, a dispatcher, a manager. As long as they're over 18 and they're associated with the defendants in their business or corporation, they're an agent, dumbo. Stop being a follower and use your mind that God gave you. I know it's hard, but you can't sway me. I use mine and I read very carefully. You know, I'm not a follower, I'm a leader. And you're going to find out. I'm going to lead people to understand It is time for change in America to get rid of these bootlickers and ass kissers we put into office and allow this kind of corruption to continue. It is time we put honest, law-abiding citizens into positions who won't conspire and be corrupt by individuals who are followers, not leaders. Again, this order was sent to me with my summons that I had 60 days now. Let me show y'all. 60 days to serve the defendant. Even though the clerk of the court argued me down and said that the marshals were going to serve it. And they held my summons for 60 to 90 days before this letter came, along with my summons for me to send them. And you're going to see once I served them, they had to figure another way to try to derail this lawsuit. And the way they're trying to do it is the saying, I didn't serve these individuals, and I didn't take the summons and the affidavit back to the clerk's office because it is nowhere in the jacket of my lawsuit. Who loses 9 summons and affidavit? I can see 1, but 9, that tells me that somebody intentionally took them out of the jacket. And I'm pretty sure the appellate court's gonna agree with me. So, we're at 65 days and I still haven't reserved these people. We're waiting for the judge to dismiss my case so I can file my appeal. We're waiting on the judge to decide what he's gonna do. Isn't that remarkable? We are waiting for a judge to make a decision after he made all these other orders or if he's going to dismiss my case or we going forward with it. Because I'm telling you, oh, one more thing to my man. Read what a default judgment is. Since you like reading the civil proceedings, read what that default judgment rule is. Okay? This case is over. You know, all you bootlickers out there who say, oh, these individuals stole my property, broke a contract, locked me up illegally, imprisoned me illegally, and you don't think they're going to pay for that? Oh, yeah. I'm going to have each one of my pieces of property they stole from me and sold to somebody else without due process returned back to me. Watch and see. I don't need to hear your dumb comments. Sit back and watch and see how this unfolds. All this is bringing more people into a corruptive system, showing you free people, I'm not talking about the followers, I'm talking about free people, how corrupt our judicial system is. Ask yourself this: how do you lose 9 summons and affidavit in a multi-million-dollar lawsuit unless you were trying to cover up something or help somebody out? The young lady stamped them, handed me a copy with the date on it, and I recorded it. So, I'm waiting. Then she tells me I should send my copy in to the clerk of the court again. It ain't gonna happen. As a taxpayer, I'm not paying you to lose documents. And if they do it with this case, how many other cases have the judges, I'm not even gonna say judges, individuals who are supposed to be arbitrating civil lawsuits get a phone call or text, lose these documents, and dismiss this case. Because that's what's happening now. And if it wasn't for the filming and me showing you this now on my platform, this case would have been over with. I would have got a dismissal. But now we have moved into a different realm of criminal activity. We filed a complaint with the FBI. Let's see if they do their job. Conspiracy, extortion. You stole my money and now you are not giving me the service that I requested by paying my money to have 12 free citizens hear this case. Okay? Or get justice through a default judgment. You're going to see my complaint, which says $62 million. They dropped it down to $9 million. Watch and see how this unfolds. To all you followers, bootlicking days are over in America. We are no longer going to allow you followers to run this country. We are going to take this country back and we're going to make it great again. And that's by exposing you corrupt individuals who have we put into office or employed to do a job. So stand by, people.